I'm the CEO for M-PESA Africa. What happened in March 2007 changed financial services completely in the world. I say M-PESA is a little bit like COVID. What COVID taught us, that importance of breathing. When you breathe in, you don't see it. When you can't breathe, then you know what the importance of breathing. And then when M-PESA is working, it's fantastic, it's like breathing. But if M-PESA is an issue, then you see it. You see it trending on Twitter, you see this, regulators, everybody comes to us. If M-PESA goes down in Kenya for 5 minutes, the president must know. I've been involved with M-PESA from the start, and although I joined M-PESA officially in 2011. I first interacted with M-PESA a year and a half before M-PESA started. So I was in Caltex, which is owned by Chevron, the oil company, and a lady by the name Susie Loney reached out, and then Pauline Vaughan, Nick Hughes, to come to use Caltex service stations as a cash-in, cash-out point for M-PESA agents. So that was in late 2005, 2006. They had assumed that we owned and ran the service station, yet we owned, but we franchised the stations to our dealers. And that's exactly how the aggregator model in M-PESA today used globally came from that discussion between Caltex, myself, and the M-PESA team at that particular time. I remember Michael Joseph coming to my office to sign the contract, and we walked to a fuel station. This is even before we launched in 2007 to actually test it at an agent, which was the Caltex in Parklands. And that's where we interacted with it. One was the aggressive free SIM card swap. Two was the commitment that the Safaricom team led by Michael Joseph then. Three was, the passionate people who were involved in it, from Nick Hughes, Pauline Vaughan, and Susie Loney at the beginning were, they really key. And what they had is the passion to drive financial inclusion, and that DNA that was set then is a DNA that's there till today in terms of transforming lives. Big decision was when we said M-PESA is for all, where we created the Braille watch. I think that's one of the most innovative, and started looking at how do visually impaired people access financial services in the country. Today, 6 million Kenyans are actually visually impaired. And that's a massive amount of people who've been excluded. The second one is something Kenya's just done recently, and this is to enable the elderly receive their money on their phone. The government provides, I think, people about 70 years old a stipend every month, and they used to wait maybe 4 or 5 months before they can go and get it, because the cost of transportation for them and the effort was very difficult. But today they receive it as a voucher, and they can cash it out at any M-PESA outlet right next door for them. And you can see how that small, just done, but the impact it has of somebody who's maybe 75, 80 years old. In 2012, we were deciding which products should remain in the old system and which products, which is called the Generation 1 M-PESA platform and Generation 2 M-PESA platform. Now, one of the products that initially was being removed was Pay by M-PESA, or Lipa Na M-Pesa. And that time it used to operate only in Uchumi and Nakumatt as a dongle. So it didn't have transactions. It was a very cumbersome process. And I remember that time we were at Boniface, and we sat down with him and said, we need to really look at this differently. Our boss then, Betty Mwangi, who was a general manager for financial services, allowed us to sort of look at it. And we made a decision to bring it back into G2. We made a decision to reposition it, and we created Lipa Na M-Pesa. And in that, we got the CEO then, Bob Collymore, and more importantly, Peter Arena, who was the CBU director, believed in this product. And I remember us setting a target of 100,000 merchants in 6 months. We got that in 4 months. And that's what set up what Lipa Na M-Pesa is today. No one knew what Fuliza was, but I'd heard it when I lived in Tanzania. And I said, I'm not going to launch Fuliza as a commercial product. We would turn it on, and we turned it on 5th of January 2019, and just sent SMSs. In 2 days, we had 4 million customers. In 10 days, we had 6 billion in lending. It's the most successful product we've ever launched on M-Pesa. Pochi la Biashara, which actually started in Tanzania. That ability just to separate personal money from business money on the same P2P line is such a big differentiator, so that they can manage their products and services better. Must give the central bank and the different governors who've been key in ensuring that M-Pesa, and the fintech side of the business comes in. And I must applaud Dr. Patrick Njoroge for really transforming how central bank looks at fintech. He used to say he's a governor by day and a fintech enthusiast by night. So not everything in M-Pesa is a success. We opened India, we closed. We opened Romania, we closed. We opened South Africa, we tried it twice. It didn't work out. Now we're doing something different there. But it's become very, very successful in a lot of our markets. Tanzania, Mozambique, DRC, Lesotho, Ethiopia that is coming in. M-Pesa, when you go out of Kenya, and in some markets, it's more successful than Kenya. So we're seeing more innovation out there on M-Pesa market. So it's great to see what started in Kenya has spawned into a very successful M-Pesa market. But more importantly, there are over 200 countries worldwide that have introduced mobile money. And that came because of what started in Kenya.